because we lost Black Wall Street? Why did the people in Houston, Texas try so hard to fight for Fifth Ward, the great Fifth Ward that it was? Because of what we saw with Rosewood. Why did Black people in New Jersey fight so hard like they do and still are trying to fight despite being taxed into the phantom zone the way they're doing? Is because New Jersey played a very heavy-handed role in the Underground Railroad. So my problem is with a lot of these celebrated Black hubs, you forgot what this was about. This wasn't about you being on Revolt debating Candace Owens.
Exactly. Wasn't about that.
You forgot what built these cities. You forgot where these people fled from. There was people that left Arkansas and went to Atlanta to build up a business. There were people that left Durham, North Carolina to build up a business in Atlanta. See, when we
this, even though some agent provocateurs have started fires in various cities, it doesn't change the fact these are the average Black men and women that couldn't get a job in tech, that had bougie Black people ignore them because of their backgrounds, even though these people work hard.
This is Deborah White. She said that she's an Aboriginal. And she says American Indian, Aboriginal, clinical sociologist, nature and herbal empath. It says Chief Executive Officer at Make It Rain, Founder Director of and CEO at the Hindsight Project. It says studied dance and performing arts at Pasadena City College. She studied sociology of politics at Wayne State and studied communication studies at Georgia State University. So this is a very, well-educated, sophisticated lady who knows about the arts and who knows about politics, about what's going on right now in the American Indian community and how the government or other entities, how they use our people as pawns in order to, fit their particular agenda.
Clan mother to the red people. Listen, I don't like doing Facebook Live. I've said that before. So if I'm doing it, I was really pushed by the universe to talk to you. So listen to me. As someone who loves you, you are my people. Everything I do and say is for you, our benefit, and our well-being. I was on my way to exercise, and I have been pushed to talk to you. In our political system, in this war, you are being used as pawns. This man's death was a setup. It was a setup, and if you go and you look at how this whole thing started, the police who were involved hunted this man down. My son said, "Ma, don't look at it. I'm not going to allow you to watch this video because every time you see them kill and murder one of us, it hurts you so bad." And I have to deal with it. I know what he meant by that because he keeps telling me he feels helpless about how I feel. I'm going to tell you something. You go back and you watch the beginning of how they hunted this man down like a jackal. He went willingly. He was walking away from them. This man knew he was chosen to die. You could tell he knew. Look how they handled him. Look at the looks on their faces. These cops were chosen to kill this man. Let's look at some similarities here. These police are now changing their tune. What are they talking about? Let's do an airstrike against the protesters. Let's kill them. Trump said, let's shoot them. Where's the similarity here? In every instance, when there was a riot, it was always a white woman involved. You guys aren't thinking about that. This man was with a white woman. How is important to this situation? Because in every airstrike, attack on us, a white woman either cried rape or she either came out and said, this nigga did something to me. Even in the Black Panthers, they had white women up in there. They spied on them. Now, I don't know whether this white woman was a spy. I can't tell you that. But I can tell you this. This man was chosen to die. Go back and look at how they hunted him down before they put he put his knee on this man's neck. Then look at how he looked around. I couldn't look at all of it. It was so destructive and destroying. And I'm not going to fall into this ritual because all of these things are rituals. These are police killing rituals against the original people. You need to understand that. These are rituals, and white women are used to carry out these rituals. That's the truth. This man literally put his knee on this man's neck, put his hand in his pocket, as if to say, I'm doing this with a purpose. He was looking to see who was looking. Are you hearing me? So I'm going to ask the protesters to come out of the ritual. We have every right to protest. We have every right. And newscasters are saying, we don't have any right. We do. We have every right because of what they have done to us systematically over and over and over again. We are the most disenfranchised people in this country, yet we are the first Americans of this country. You listen to me, people, and you pass this around, and I hope the protesters, the original protesters, will see this and go home because they are setting you up. I promise you, this is a setup by the cabal. I went to sleep knowing that the universe was knowing at me and said, Deborah, this is a setup. This is all about the political war, this civil war that's going on between the cabal and the right. Because they are fighting over who's going to own us in the end. That is always what it's about. Let me tell you something. We cannot continue to play in to their rituals. We can't. We need to be doing something else while they're at war with each other. And I am so disappointed in Trump, someone who claims that he understands us, yet he would say, firebomb us, kill us, shoot us. This is all a setup. It's a setup because they knew that is exactly what he would say. Because they want you to vote for them. And as many of you are saying, you know, you're a Trump lover. It's not about me being a Trump lover. It's about me knowing exactly what the setup is. And the setup is to get you, to get them to bring in the military to kill us. We can't continue to fall into their bullshit and their plans against us. We can't. We are not prepared. We need to go back and get prepared because they have narrated a whole lie against us. I listened to Fox News. Fox News know the lie narration. They talk about it all the time, how the Democratic Party has narrated a lie about Trump. All the things they say about him is a lie, so that people won't vote for him. But you know what? Don't this sound familiar? Because they've been doing that to us all of our lives. They have narrated us into a watermelon beer eating, no good, lazy ass niggas. And the whole world believes it. And what happens? The whole world comes against us. Yes, they've done that to Trump. And I don't understand why Trump and everybody else who knows they're doing it to him are not looking at that is exactly what they're doing to us. Their whole narrative is changing against us because we've been set up. We got to stop falling for the setup. We got to stop falling for the setup, people. I know this is a hard message because you want me to say something else, but I'm telling you what's going on in this war. Let's look at the definition of war. You know what the definition of war is? Confusion. And we are confused. We don't know which way to turn. The Democrats love us? No. Do the Republicans love us? No. No one cares about us. We have got to start thinking. We have got to come to our own leaders. And I'm not talking about these African-American Negroes who claims to care about us. And especially that Black caucus. Because they got with Fauci. It said we were the most, what did they say? We were the most hit by the coronavirus. Oh, that's a lie. They helped him put the coronavirus on our face, the same way he put HIV on us and the same way he tried to put AIDS on us. But that ended up on the gay people, as if it doesn't hit the whole world. Listen to me. If it is possible to get this video to the protesters, tell them to back up and go home. We are playing right into the hand of the cabal. We are being used as pawns. Yes, we have every right to protest. But I will never forget when my children protested in California, a rightful protest. And my daughter came home and said, "Ma, you know what happened? They sent white people into this protest, and they are the ones who tried to get us to riot." Think about that. How did this protest turn into a riot? Just think about that. They sent those rioters in there. Wake up, people. Wake up. You're being played. We're all being played. And they are bringing us into their war. Please. There's so much I want to say. There's just so much I want to say.
Now, you've seen those clips from Thought Crimes, and they talk about politics, all the time, racism, and they have some really profound information that they talk about when it comes to politics, dealing with our people, even though they use the terms, Black and African American, which we know that we're not. We know that we're American Indians, but besides that, they bring some very good points, and like they said, we held on to places like Houston and Atlanta because of what it means, because of the environment. It was good for our people, for our Aboriginal people. Our American Indian people were able to really thrive and survive in Atlanta by having a lot of businesses that the media wants to call Black businesses. Okay, and we know that those businesses aren't Black businesses. We know those are American Indians, and those are American Indian businesses. But look at this. To me personally, I feel as though that all of these things, just like Tulsa, just like Rosewood, we know, like in Tulsa and Rosewood, those things, those towns, those American Indian towns were burned down. They were destroyed by Caucasians. And this is no different. I feel that they were white people that went and attacked these so-called Black businesses that's in Atlanta, because there were at least, out of all the businesses that's owned, about half of those businesses in Atlanta was Aborigine owned businesses. Now, this is a shame that this woman, which we know is Aborigine, that they are misnomering as black, that they said that right here, they said black woman business owner in downtown finds windows bust out by protesters. Okay. And that's a dang on shame, because it's like, why would you attack and destroy your own people's businesses? Where are you going to go when you need something, whether if it's food or to get your hair done, nails done, clothes, what have you? If the entrepreneurs, if the so-called black entrepreneurs, the American Indians, the Aborigines aren't there, and you're basically committing economic genocide to your own people, you're not going to have anywhere to go to. So that's the reason why, we need to support our businesses and not lose our heads and follow and be followers of other people, especially when you don't know what the heck what their agenda is and what it's about. And it's definitely not for us. It's not for our people. All they want to do, like Deborah said, is to set our people up to get killed, and obviously set us up to destroy our economic base. Okay, now let's look at this.
Push me around, but I don't push you, baby, look at me now.
Hi, Aisha. We are just a few blocks away from Grady, and we came across this business not ransacked, but all the windows broken. This is the owner, Robin. Robin, what happened?
I was at home. We've been feeling uneasy since yesterday. One of my business partners was talking about all of our windows. I felt like the street was quiet enough that all of the activity was elsewhere. And then about 15 minutes ago, I was notified that all of the windows had been out, and I actually live in the building. I heard what sounded like firecrackers, but I had no idea all of this had happened.
So all this?
Yes.
Just
every
moments
window.
ago.
Yes. It had to be 15 minutes ago. The officer said there were about 30 kids came by and just busted up all the windows.
And you've owned this business for just about a year.
Yes, we're actually about a year and a few months, and we just had a strategy meeting for our post-COVID strategy, and this is just another thing to deal with.
Robin, you're a black female business owner. These people were out here allegedly protesting police brutality, inequality. What's going through your mind knowing that these individuals were saying that we're out here protesting for your rights, your friends' rights, and then this happens?
It's a lot of pain in our society, and in a situation like this, the lines between right and wrong are very thin. Hurt people, and it takes away from the real issues in society, which is we have to do better with hate and racism. And I think a lot of people don't have the type of guidance and love that they need to really function in a society that's has a overtone of oppression.
Robin, I can't thank you enough for doing this interview in such short notice, literally opening the door, showing us the damage. I wish you the best in cleaning up, reopening after the pandemic and through the pandemic, and then picking up the pieces from here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Be here because it wasn't just Dr. King and people dressed nicely who marched and protested to progress this city and so many other cities. It was people like my grandmother, people like my aunts and uncles who were members of SCLC and NAACP, and in particular, Reverend James Orange, Mrs. Alice Johnson, and Reverend Love, who we just lost last year. So I'm duty bound to be here to simply say that it is your duty not to burn your own house down for anger with an enemy. It is your duty to fortify your own house so that you may be a house of refuge in times of organization. And now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. It is time to beat up prosecutors you don't like at the voting booth. It is time to hold mayoral offices accountable, chiefs and deputy chiefs. Atlanta is not perfect, but we're a lot better than we ever were, and we're a lot better than cities are. I'm mad as hell. I woke up wanting to see the world burn down yesterday because I'm tired of seeing black men die. He casually put his knee on a human being's neck for 9 minutes as he died like a zebra in the clutch of a lion's jaw. And we watch it like murder porn over and over again. So that's why children are burning to the ground. They don't know what else to do. And it is the responsibility of us to make this better right now. We don't want to see one officer charged. We want to see 4 officers prosecuted and sentenced. We don't want to see targets burning. We want to see the system that sets up for systemic racism burnt to the ground. And as I sit here in Georgia, home of Stevens, Georgia, former vice president of the Confederacy, white man said that law, fundamental law, stated that whites were naturally the superior race, and the Confederacy was built on a cornerstone. It's called a cornerstone speech. Look it up. The cornerstone speech that blacks would always be subordinate. That officer believed that speech because he killed that man like an animal. In this city, officers have done horrendous things and they have been prosecuted. This city's cut different. In this city, you can find over 50 restaurants owned by black women. I didn't say minority, and I didn't say women of color.
Hey guys, this is Davita Carter, and she is on my friends list, and she is an American Indian, and she is a descendant of many different bloodlines. And as you see here, her bloodlines are Ananawiya, which is Cherokee, Creek, Seminole, and also Bajan/Arawak. So let's see what she has to say when it comes to us as a people working together when it comes to our economics and what we should be doing as far as group economics is concerned, because you had Killer Mike, who was on Alive 11, and he was basically talking about our people not destroying their own, businesses, and for us to do, and she's talking about group economics, and it's very funny how, and, devastating and disgusting how it's our own people who claim that they're sick of oppression, but yet they're oppressing their own people by following agent provocateurs sent in to protests just to get the Indians riled up to make them destroy their own economic base, which is so-called black-owned businesses, which are really owned by Aborigines, who are mislabeled and, who's being mislabeled purposely and misrepresented purposely as black people. Okay, so anyways, let's get into this.
Lito, everyone. It is a beautiful day in Georgia. I just wanted to talk a little bit about group economics. Now, this is something we can do that will make us powerful, and then maybe we can make a change politically. Now, I want you to look at this. I want y'all to look at this plaza here, right? Every store in this plaza, except for one, is owned by others, except for us. Now, I'm going to show you what they do. Now this hair store is being moved down in here. They do group economics. We're the only ones that don't. The only ones that don't do group economics. Oh no. Okay. Thank you. Now this store here is the only black-owned store in this plaza. Black American is what I mean. Now they're moving this. The Marathon is some Arabs that own a lot of these stores here. They're moving the hair store down to the old check cashing place, right? But they already rented it to some Africans. Look at these ugly ass African dresses and shit and suits, right? They done already rented it to them. The only black American store is that seafood store that I was showing y'all. Now we really need to do these group economics. That's why we be talking about the No Grandma Killers tour here in Atlanta, July 3rd and 4th. See, they moved to the Metro, moved next to the Metro PCS. So, starting from the top of the thing, first store is Mexicans. The second store is Black American. The third store was Asian. Third store was Asian owned. Well, Asian hair store. They moved down. They done already, since they moved down, they done already rented this shit to some Africans, because you can tell by these ugly ass fucking dresses and shit. When are we going to wake up as black Americans and do group economics and support, not only support our own, but start putting our money together to open these businesses like they do? This is what I want to know from you guys. Y'all can get together and tear some shit the fuck up. But what can y'all build? Tell me what y'all can build. Now, what happened in Atlanta yesterday pissed me off. Okay, so they moved down here, right? They moved the hair store here. And like I was saying, every store in this fucking plaza is owned by others. When are we going to start doing the group economics, y'all? Now, what they did is, this used to be a tattoo parlor, and that was the check cashing place, right? They knocked down the wall to the tattoo parlor, and they expanded, and they moved. They moved. And I seen the people that own the Marathon store here, they're Arabs. They own the Marathon, that liquor store, that tax service is black owned. Don't pretty much trust them though. It's a shame. I don't trust, not that I don't trust them because they black. I don't trust a lot of these tax places, these fly-by-night tax places. But this is what I wanted to show y'all. When are we as a people going to get together and start doing this group economics together and opening up these businesses? Everybody, and I can go to that little mall across the street, same difference, same thing. We got motherfucking Hispanics, Latinos, Africans, Arabs that own all these fucking stores. When are we going to fucking own some shit, y'all? No Grandma Killers Tour, Atlanta, July 3rd and 4th. We need to start doing and putting our money together and opening these businesses in our neighborhoods. When I grew up in the 70s, that's how it was. Every store in the neighborhood was owned by us. Now they're owned by others. Every store is owned by other nationalities in our neighborhood. When the fuck are we going to do group economics and put our money together and open these businesses like they do? Wake the fuck up, y'all. Wake the fuck up, y'all. This is America. This is our country. This is Indian country. And they do commerce easily. But no, they want to keep us distracted with some bullshit. They want to keep us angry. They want to keep us distracted. Don't fall for the okie doke, y'all. Don't fall for it.
About what the white people, what they doing is that they trying to get us to fall for it, right?
They're trying to get us to fall for the okie doke. For the black people to mess up the black businesses down there, so they can start building some white businesses down there. So some white companies can come down there.
Exactly. That's all it is, because they know that right now, the way that it is, it's a lot of the people that own the businesses. I think almost 50% of the businesses are so-called black owned by American Indians. And
I hope those American Indians that own those businesses down there got some good insurance on their business.
Yeah, that's what I hope so. Exactly. That's what I'm saying too.